The night sky has always been a place of mystery, but among the stars and clouds there exists something even more elusive, a machine so stealthy and so secretive that it seems to belong to another world. The B-2 Spirit, also known as the stealth bomber, is not just a plane, it is a symbol of absolute dominance in modern aerial warfare, a weapon designed not to be seen, yet powerful enough to change the course of a war. For years, people have wondered what makes the strange flying wing so unique, why it looks like no other aircraft, and how it manages to slip through radar nets like a ghost. Today we will unfold the secrets, the history, and the engineering marvel behind the legendary B-2 Spirit. The story of the B-2 begins in the Cold War, a time when the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in an intense arms race. The world lived under the constant threat of nuclear war. The challenge for the U.S. military was clear: how to deliver nuclear weapons deep into Soviet territory without being detected. At that time, radar systems had become advanced enough to spot traditional bombers from hundreds of miles away. So, the solution was not just about building a faster or stronger bomber, it was about building one that could not be seen at all. That idea gave birth to the concept of stealth technology, and the B-2 would become its most iconic creation. Looking at the B-2 Spirit, the first thing that catches the eye is its unusual shape. Unlike conventional aircraft with tails and fuselages, the B-2 is designed as a flying wing. This design is not just for looks, it minimizes radar reflections by eliminating sharp edges and vertical surfaces that would bounce signals back to enemy radar. Every angle, every curve of the aircraft is calculated to scatter radar waves away, making it blend with the background noise instead of showing up as a target. Its black color is not accidental either. It is meant to help the aircraft hide in the night sky during missions, where it becomes almost invisible to the naked eye. The stealth features of the B-2 go much deeper than its shape. Its skin is covered with radar-absorbent materials that soak up signals instead of reflecting them. Even its engines are hidden deep inside the wings, with special exhaust systems designed to reduce the heat signature that infrared sensors could detect. All these elements combine to create an aircraft that can fly straight into the most heavily defended enemy territory and go undetected. For enemies, it is almost like fighting a shadow. But stealth is only one part of the story. The B-2 Spirit is also a strategic bomber with incredible range and payload capacity. It can carry both conventional and nuclear weapons, making it one of the most versatile tools in the U.S. Air Force. With the ability to fly more than 6,000 miles without refueling, and much further with aerial refueling, it can strike anywhere in the world. Each aircraft is capable of carrying up to 40,000 pounds of bombs, from precision-guided conventional bombs to massive nuclear warheads. This combination of stealth and firepower makes it one of the deadliest aircraft ever built. The development of the B-2 was shrouded in secrecy. Northrop, the main contractor, worked with cutting-edge technologies that were decades ahead of their time. The cost of developing the bomber was astronomical, reaching nearly $2 billion per aircraft when research, development, and production costs were combined. This made the B-2 not only one of the most advanced aircraft in history but also one of the most expensive. Initially, the U.S. planned to build over 100 of these bombers. However, after the end of the Cold War and rising costs, only 21 were ever built. That small number makes the B-2 fleet one of the rarest and most carefully maintained in the world. The B-2 Spirit has already proven its effectiveness in combat. It first saw action in 1999 during the NATO bombing campaign in Kosovo, where it struck Serbian targets with precision. Later, it played major roles in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya. In every mission, it showed the same terrifying advantage: the ability to penetrate defenses undetected, strike critical targets, and return safely without enemy forces even realizing it was there. Its presence alone creates psychological pressure, because enemies know that if a B-2 is in the sky, no target is safe. Flying the B-2, however, is not an easy job. It requires some of the most highly trained pilots in the U.S. Air Force. Missions can last more than 30 hours, with pilots spending more than a full day in the cockpit without breaks. Advanced systems help them manage the workload, but the endurance and focus needed are extreme. Every mission is planned down to the smallest detail because once airborne, the B-2 has no backup. It must succeed. and it must remain unseen. What makes the B-2 even more fascinating is how it remains relevant even decades after its introduction in the 1980s. While many other aircraft from that era are now retired or outdated, the B-2 continues to serve at the highest level of modern warfare. Its design was so advanced that even today, few nations have anything that can compare. Upgrades have kept it modern, with improved radar systems, new communication technology, and precision weaponry. It stands as a perfect example of how visionary engineering can stay ahead of its time. Of course, the B-2 will not fly forever. The U.S. Air Force is already developing its successor, the B-21 Raider, which will carry forward the stealth bomber legacy. But even as new technologies arrive, the B-2 Spirit will always be remembered as the pioneer, the aircraft that redefined what a bomber could be. It is a perfect balance of science, strategy, and fear, designed to be invisible, unstoppable, and unforgettable. The B-2 Spirit is not just an aircraft. It is a message. It tells the world that the U.S. can strike at any moment, from any distance, without warning. It is the silent guardian of American power, hidden in the shadows, waiting until the moment it is needed. Whether you see it as a marvel of engineering, a symbol of deterrence, or a ghost in the sky, one thing is certain: the B-2 Spirit is unlike anything else ever built. The mystery of the B-2 lies not just in its black silhouette or its stealthy nature, but in the aura it creates. Imagine standing under a night sky, knowing that above you, somewhere unseen, this flying wing could be passing by, completely silent, completely invisible. That is the power of the Spirit. It is not just about destroying targets. It is about reshaping the battlefield, about creating fear, and about proving that sometimes the most dangerous thing is the one you cannot see.